And this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. We've got so much to cover. Trump, Nick, Shirley, Mamdani, and a whole bunch. Got a big show today. This is kind of, I guess people are back to work today since it's the 2nd. So we'll be live on the radio today and here on YouTube, of course, taking your calls. And it is Friday, so it is open phones on Friday when I'm in the studio. So what I'm going to lead with today is Mamdani's inauguration speech. I mean, how many times did he get inaugurated? Twice? He's got inaugurated like a little too many times there, but I guess every one of his commie supporters have to get their chance to swear him in, Letitia, Bernie, and all that. What I'm going to lead with today on the main show in the studio is Mamdani talking about the era of rugged individualism is over. It's time for collectivism. Now, collectivism, of course, is communism, right? Marxism 101. I mean, it's right out of Mao's little red book. I mean, there's just no getting around it. But rugged individualism, see, this is the problem with this new wave of immigrants into this country that don't become Americanized. Rugged individualism is what America is all about. Right? Rugged individualism, if memory serves, comes from the frontier days. Now, I know the liberals want you to think that slaves built everything in this country. That is not the case. I don't want to take anything away from the Democrats, and their Confederate slave-owning past is certainly a terrible thing, but they were not the ones that were settling the great frontier. And rugged individualism is about those Americans, many of them didn't survive, who went out west alone, with a family maybe, and built this country, right? The great westward expansion and all that. Rugged individualism is what America is all about. And for him to reject that is just erasing and rewriting American history, Mamdani. And what's Mamdani about? Well, I got to tell you, just over 24 years ago was 9/11, and here we have now a mayor of the city where Ground Zero is located, who's Muslim, was sworn in on a Quran, and hired as his chief counsel a Muslim attorney who's represented Al-Qaeda, who were the guys that brought down the buildings. What's the plan here? What's going on here? And the left, these extreme left, these democratic, socialist, communist, extreme left, they argue against colonialists. They call Americans colonialists. We're not colonialists. Maybe the Europeans were. But what's happening right now is the United States is being colonized. Right? The United States is being colonized. You look at Mamdani. You look at... you look at what's going on with the Somali community. Our country is being colonized, and the colonizers are wiping out our entire culture at every opportunity they can get. And there's communism of Zohan Mamdani. They call it democratic socialism, but it's really communism. Capitalism, like rugged individualism, that's what America is all about. And to reject capitalism, reject rugged individualism, is to wipe out American culture, which is what they want to do. These people around the world, these evildoers, they believe that all the problems in the world are because of the United States. These are sick, twisted people. They don't understand that the United States is and has been the solution to all these problems, right? If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is indeed where MAGA comes to talk. So, that's it. I mean, this is, we'll see what Mamdani does. If he does what he says he's going to do, he's going to fail. He's got all these ideals and promises. I don't think he's going to be able to keep them. And running around and running your mouth about this and that, that's easy to do. But actually putting it in place, that's another thing. I mean, go talk to Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, right? They've been yapping about bringing down the lawfare people and all these other things for years, and then they're in charge of it and they can't do it. So I'm going to lead with talking about Mamdani and his speech and his attack on America, his erasing of American culture and all of that, because it's very important. It's got to be covered. It's got to be talked about. It can't just be allowed to go without explanation. Oh, and this thing he said about, Mamdani said that New York City belongs to whoever lives there. What does that even mean? It belongs to whoever lives there? What does that mean? It belongs to the mafia, the illegals. Who's he talking? What does that mean? And what does he mean? Right? So anyway, that's what I'm going to lead with today. And on Friday's show, when I'm in the studio, of course, not in my car right now, it is 48 degrees here in sunny South Florida. It's freezing, so I've got the heat on in the car. I've got the seat heater on, and I've got the steering wheel heater on. Oh, I've been talking about the daycare centers all week, and there's more on that too. We'll call about the Leering centers. I'll be talking about that too today, because there are some updates. But the United States is being colonized by Muslims, Somalis, by the open southern border that President Trump, that's what's going on. The country is being colonized. They're wiping out our entire culture. Our economic system is, they're basically leading a communist revolution in the country, and that's it. And it's scary stuff, but luckily they're in pockets. Now, over the weekend, guys, look for me on Newsmax. I'm going to be on Newsmax over the weekend on Wendy Bell's show. Check that out. We talked about, we'll be talking about a lot of these things, so don't miss it. Yeah, it's on about on Saturday and Sundays. I'll be on Newsmax this weekend, and I think it's on 4 times, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. Wendy Bell, catch me in a suit and tie. That's right. Well, Europe is fallen, but it's not the exact same as Europe, because Europe has been socialist forever. So it's smaller. So it's smaller, and they were already socialist, right? And they have that hardcore class system over there that we don't have here. So it's a little more difficult. They've really been isolated in these blue states and blue cities, but that doesn't mean we're not going to call them out. Yep. Wipe it out. We're not going to let them. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to my channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and this is the first, well, I guess, first work day of 2026, and what our work is going to be dedicated to is to having a mass voter turnout in November, so that we swamp them at the polls and win the midterms. The midterms are ours to lose. We can win them with a massive turnout. So you're going to hear me talking a lot about massive voter turnout, what the left are going to try to do, and a lot of fake Republicans, rhinos, and all of that, never Trumpers, they're going to try to discourage you from voting. No. Turnout, we have a massive turnout, we will win if we have a massive turnout. If we don't have a massive turnout, we won't win. That's how Mamdani got in. Low turnout in New York City, Mamdani won. And with Curtis Lewa's help, too. Just to firm it up. Curtis Lewa. I tell you, what a piece of work. Well, you know, Mom Donnie's attack on rugged individualism is an attack on everything that the United States is all about. You know, next to Donald Trump, who do you think I believe? I'm going to tell you in a second. Who do you think I believe is the second coolest president? President Trump's the coolest president, no doubt about it. The second coolest president. Who do you think I believe the second coolest president is? Think about it for a second. I'll tell you. Teddy Roosevelt, a New Yorker. You know, Teddy Roosevelt, he was still in that era of rugged individualism, and he is kind of like the representation of rugged individualism, Teddy Roosevelt. You know, rugged individualism is about all those great, heroic people who got in those wagon trains and settled the Great West and the frontier, set up farms and ranches and built towns and just amazing stuff, you know. And rugged individuals what built the United States. And for him to reject that not only is it to reject everything this country is about, it shows that he doesn't even understand what this country is about. And you have all of these white social justice warriors who are just out of their freaking minds, who are just clapping along in the crowd with Mom Donnie and Bernie Sanders and AOC like something good happened. And this could very well be the beginning of the fall of American civilization if we don't stand up for it. But President Trump's popularity is massive. And since the president has such huge popularity, we'll get through it if we challenge it and bring everything to people's attention, which I'm going to do everything I can do to do that. And you guys as well. Make sure you subscribe, guys. On the next stream, which will be about an hour or so, I'll be in the studio taking live calls. And you can call me live on the program and you either call me out or whatever. But today is on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. It's open phones. You can call in about anything and everything on your mind on Friday's show. And today's Friday, so it's open phones, Open MAGA Mic Friday today. But I'm going to lead with Mom Donnie. I got a lot of other things I want to cover too, but I'm going to lead with Mom Donnie's attack on the United States and his acceptance speech yesterday, which was just a sad day. Mom Donnie's acceptance speech, just a sad, sad thing. No doubt. Hey, Chuck. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, man, I wish Starbucks opened earlier. If Starbucks opened, they should be open 24 hours, really. But if Starbucks opened at like 4:30, 4 a.m., I'd start the show at 4:30 or 5 a.m. But I got to get that venti hot blonde Americano. I need the espresso to get the show cooking. New York City forgot about 9/11. That's crazy. But I was very surprised. I thought during this campaign we would hear from the 9/11 families and things, but... And I hear so many people, these pundits, talking about, well, you know, there's going to be a mass exodus of retirement from the police department and the fire department. Well, where were they during the campaign speaking out against this, right? I turned the heat on a little too much. Oh, I'm going to have to actually... It's 48 degrees, which is freezing here. Let me let some of this heat out of the car. There we go. I got it just a little too hot in here. It is insane. I mean, who would have thought, you know, after 9/11, that in 2026, a Muslim mayor taking the oath on the Quran would be sworn in, and his chief legal counsel is a Muslim attorney who's represented Al-Qaeda, who brought the buildings down. You know, I mean, I know it was a generation ago, but there's, you know, come on. There's got to be enough people left in New York who remember it or lost somebody in it, or, you know. But they forgot. You lost 2 friends that day. Oh, it was a crazy day. I mean, I remember I was on the air back then we were the radio show. We were on till 10. Now we're on 6 to 9. We were on 6 to 10. And we were on the air when it happened. And I had a TV in the studio back then. And I remember my wife called me and said the World Trade Center has been attacked by terrorists. And I turned on the television, and just as I saw the second plane hit live, and I thought it was a replay of the first one. I didn't realize there were even 2 planes yet. It was crazy. And here we are. Two and a half decades later, and you got to ask yourself, who won the war on terror, right? Us or Al-Qaeda? You got an Al-Qaeda attorney as the chief counsel for New York City. Everyone was crying on 9/11. People, unless you lived through it, you don't remember. If as much of a creep as he's become, the Robert De Niro documentary that he hosted and narrated is probably the best documentary done on 9/11. When they were with the fire crew that went into the building, it was crazy. Yeah. It was a crazy time, crazy day, and weeks and months later. But this is, and never forget became a phrase. And, I wouldn't be surprised. Do they still have the World Trade Centers on the New York City police officers' patches? I wouldn't be surprised if it's there, if Mamdani updated the patches without it to show the new proper skyline. I would not be surprised. Would you? Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, it's 48 degrees here in South Florida. I mean, that's pretty cold for us. That is freezing for us in Florida. I do not like it. Nope. I like it hot and toasty in Florida. That's just me. That is just me. Oh, man. Any Out of the Woo fans in here? It's been almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks Monday since we lost Adam the Woo. And I've seen a couple of things that people have done in regards to Adam the Woo that are just disgusting. One, I saw this YouTuber. I saw this morning. This one YouTuber who did what a lot of people are doing, going to Adam the Woo's house to pay the respects and leave something behind. And when she was there filming Adam the Woo's house, Adam the Woo's entire immediate family came up to see what people had left behind. His father and sister and other members of his family. And this woman, the family's obviously upset. She tries to talk to the family. She's filming the family in their time of grief. It was so disgusting. I just saw it this morning. I mean, what a low-life thing that woman did. It's just totally sick and classless. And then there's a lot of psychics who, and there's already some psychics who have claimed to speak with Adam the Woo from the great beyond. And Adam the Woo's, he was a Christian. His favorite charity that was Samaritan's Purse, and I know he was a Christian. He had not only because he had a nativity in his front yard, he was raised. His father's a retired minister, And this one psychic claimed to have gotten a message that from Adam the Woo. This psychic, I couldn't believe what this guy did. Now, this psychic's so fake, and he claimed that Adam the Woo was talking to him, post-death, and he read this message that Adam the Woo gave him. And he starts the message by saying, I'm not a religious person. And then he goes on, well, of course Adam the Woo was a religious person. You know, so I'm at the Holy Land Experience theme park. His dad's a minister. Of course he was. He was very much a Christian. And what this one psychic did, it looked like they put Adam the Woo's name in like Chat GPT and asked it to write this message, because it was not Adam. It was so disgusting, really disgusting. These two, the psychic and then this woman filming the family in their time of grief in front of the house. It was just disgusting. But I do plan on going to his memorial in Orlando. They have not announced it yet. I just hope it doesn't happen at a time when I can't go, because I most definitely am planning on going to that memorial, and my daughter wants to go with me. So I want to go take my daughter to the Adam the Woo Memorial, but they have not announced it yet. They're probably trying to figure out a big enough venue that they can have it in, and they shouldn't have to pay for it. It probably needs to be at an outdoor location. I know I've mentioned a couple times where I think they should do it. Adam the Woo's first YouTube video, his first vlog, was at this place near where he lived in Central Florida. This field that there was the ruins of an old sugar mill that he would go to from time to time. It's where he did his first YouTube video. That's where they, if it's possible, do it there outside so everyone can go. If they do it in any inside venue, short of the Orlando Convention Center or something, then people are not going to be able to get in. There'll be too many people. But I'm definitely planning on going. I just hope I can. And they give us plenty of notice. It's really sad. No, you cannot come over. Really sad. I mean, there's just, I still can't believe Adam the Woo's gone. Pretty sad. Yeah, so, yeah, New York has fallen. It really has. New York has fallen. Without question, New York has fallen. It's I was so upset at this woman. I'm not going to say her channel because I don't want to give her the publicity. This YouTuber that was filming Adam the Woo's parents and family. It was his father for sure, his sister, some other relatives. I'm not sure who they were, and I think his mother. And she was filming them for quite some time in front of the house, and they're grieving, and it was just, they were just really sick and twisted. You know, I was thinking about doing a YouTube video on my other channel calling her out, but I don't want to give her channel publicity. It's really just sick, really sick. You know, what some people do. I tell you, they're hard. When it comes to celebrities, people just don't view them as real people sometimes. It's such a strange thing. I've tried to explain this to people before, but it's hard to understand unless you've, experienced it from people. But the Adam the Woo death has really hit me hard. I've been watching a lot of his videos all week. It's just crazy. Crazy. No more daily vlogs. I miss him. See, this country's in big trouble. With this Somali fraud, we're getting cases popping up all over the United States. And, between that and Mamdani, there's no doubt that the United States is being colonized. And this is all Obama, by the way. Obama is behind all of this. He put everything in motion when he was in his first 2 terms there. And they continued it during the Autopin administration of Biden. And we're being colonized. And people don't want to say it. They don't want to talk about it, because if you talk about that we're being colonized, they'll call you a racist, a white supremacist, a nationalist, Islamophobe, a thisophobe. They'll call you all these things, but you got to call it out, because that is what's happening. And You know, I mean, look at Nick Shirley. They're threatening Nick Shirley's life because he's reporting the truth. You know? And Mom Donnie is the beginning of bad things. Bad things. You know, now if he really tries to implement what he's doing, he'll fail. So hopefully that'll slow things down. But these social justice warrior liberals are so stupid. I mean, let me ask you, do you agree? Give me a yes or no on this. Is the United States being colonized? Yes or no? I say yes. Without question. We are being colonized. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how a liberal would see that is, well, you guys colonized the Americas and pushed the Indians out. You're the Indians now. No, it's not the same thing. Not the same thing. That's why we need Trump for a third term. There's just too much to be done. And Pam Bondi has burned a full year of Trump's second term here. She's got to go. I would love President Trump to fire her today and replace her with Judge Jeanine immediately. We need Judge Jeanine bad. Pam Bondi is useless to us. Well, she's useful to the evildoers. Yeah, she's the worst. But the question is with Pam Bondi, is she working for the Rhino Bushes or is she just stupid and incompetent? Which do you guys think it is? Is she her inaction really action for the Bushes, or is she just stupid and incompetent? Which do you guys think it is? Yes, forever Trump, forever MAGA, absolutely. Forever Brian. Yeah, well, thank you. Appreciate that. Forever Trump, forever MAGA. She's in over it, so she's incompetent. Whichever it is, she's got to go. Enough waiting for Pam Bondi. She's failed us, yep. Yep, she has failed us. No question. No question she's failed us. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. But she's burned an entire year. She's wasted a year. You know? And I was glad to see Elon Musk was at the New Year's party at Mar-a-Lago. You think incompetent? Nah. RFK's great. He's doing a great job. Those new RFK Bobby Kennedy Doritos are spectacular. I got to pick up some more. I ate them all. They're so good. The ones without the dyes. Yes, a MAGA Happy New Year. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you're new to my channel, on my next stream, I'll be in the studio taking live calls. MAGA-ritos, they're very good. And I've had a problem with Doritos because I love Doritos. Love Doritos. One of my favorite things. But I've always had an allergy. I'll eat them and I can't breathe, but I'll eat them anyway. I don't eat them as much as I'd like. And I got the new MAGA-ritos of Bobby Kennedy's that don't have the dyes in them, and I didn't have the breathing problem after I ate them. And I had 2 full bags of them, not at once. But I got the regular and the Cool Ranch. And they taste just the same. And I didn't have the breathing problem, so I thought I was allergic to the wheat in the Doritos, and I'm wondering, am I allergic to the dyes? Yeah, I got all the Bobby Kennedy chips. What are the other ones? Cheetos? Got those, got them all. They're very good. Taste just the same. You should try them. They have them at Walmart. I don't know what other stores have them, but I got mine at Walmart. But I'm thinking I'm allergic to the dye. I don't know. But I had no breathing problems like I've always had with Doritos my whole life. Yes. But so that's what I'm going to lead with today, is about Mom Donnie rejecting everything American in his speech, which was just the worst. Just the worst. You know, and these social justice warrior liberals, they're too stupid. You know, the thing is with liberals, with Democrats, it's not just that they're stupid. They think they're brilliant and enlightened. They don't know jack. They don't understand anything. You know? They don't understand a darn thing. You know? And, of course, we in the MAGA movement do. But, you know, we are the majority. You know, we're the majority. The latest poll has President Trump over 50% support across party lines, and a poll that oversampled Democrats by a lot. So, I mean, we are in the majority. And I saw more young millennial Gen Z citizen journalists inspired by Nick Shirley's great reporting in Minnesota doing more coverage of the Somali fraud all over the country. You know, the Somali fraud issue is going to open up the door to one of the big issues in 2026, this midterm election year. And I love when President Trump said at New Year's at Mar-a-Lago that he's going to take all the money back. They're not just cutting them off, which they've done. They're going to take the money back. Isn't that something? It's absolutely amazing. Have you subscribed? Make sure you subscribe, guys. Yeah, and now today's Friday. So on Friday's show, it's open phones. You can call me about any and everything on your mind. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Show prep's up to you guys today. Although you don't have to be MAGA to call in. If you disagree with me, you're welcome to call. The toll-free number will be in the live chat. That'll be in about an hour on the next live stream when I'm in the studio. And we got a lot to cover. I'm going to start with Mom Donnie, but I got a lot of other things to cover too. And yesterday we had some really good calls on yesterday's program. It's great topics too. Oh, boy. I got to take the Christmas lights off my house this weekend. I've got a Christmas display in my front yard and Christmas. We took everything Christmas down inside the house, and now the weekend I got to do the outside of the house. It was such a pain to put these Christmas lights up. Probably be easier to take them down, I'd imagine, than it was putting them up. It does sound great. It does sound great. So make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. And of course, I'm going to be podcasting here on YouTube all weekend. We've started off, we're going to start the week off hot because so much is happening and it's got to be covered and discussed. Just got to be. You know, and the coverage of Mom Donnie is, well, you know, the regular media will not be back to work until Monday. They're still going to have the fill-in people today for the most part on most of the major media. But, you know, this reporting out of Minnesota by Nick Shirley, it's almost like the final destruction of the legacy media, isn't it? The legacy media, they've made themselves irrelevant. And, you know, I saw there's this feud going on between that idiot Mark Levin and Megyn Kelly. And a couple days ago, Mark Levin posted on Twitter, when I get back on Monday, I'm going to tell you about Megyn Kelly. Nick Shirley has made all these self-important influence, Mark Levin, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Tucker, and all these jerks, Nick Fuentes, so irrelevant, hasn't he? He's made them all so irrelevant and exposed for what they are, petty narcissists who don't care about anything other than themselves. You know, and my plan for this year is doing everything I can do to get people to show up and vote en masse and swamp the evildoers at the polls so that President Trump can win the midterms. That's my goal, you know, and because I know if we have a huge turnout, we'll win. If we don't, we'll lose. That's it. So, but the other side is going to spend the entire year trying to convince you not to show up and vote. Not only do you have to vote, you have to make sure that your friends and family vote. Your adult children vote. Take them to the polls with you. Vote together. Democrats are evildoers. Absolutely, they're evildoers. No question. I turned the heat on again. I made it too hot. I got to roll down the windows. It's warmed up. It's 49 degrees. This just sucks. It is so freaking cold. Oh my goodness. I do not like this. I can feel the cold air coming in the car now. Ugh. We're very spoiled in South Florida. We like our tropical weather. It's gonna be warmer though over the weekend, so hopefully we'll be in the 80s soon. By this time next week, we'll be hitting the 80s again. We get a couple cold days, and then we get back to normal. All right, let some of the heat out. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. You'll never hear me criticize or disagree with President Trump ever, and I say that with pride. That's right. Not that he's done anything that I disagree with that I'm holding back on. I mean, you know, he's always right. Clearwater's not South Florida. That's Central Florida. It's not the same kind of weather there. Central Florida gets much colder and much hotter. Nope. Never disagree. What has Trump said or done that I should be disagreeing with? I can't think of anything. He's doing such a great job. There's nothing to disagree with at all with President Trump. Not a thing. Nope. No, we're not in a cult. We're the mainstream. If you're a never Trumper, you're in the cult. You're in a small minority. And that's what makes up a cult. The mainstream are MAGA, and we're not a cult. I was watching, do any of you guys watch movie summaries on YouTube? I love those channels. So you don't have to watch the movie. You could just watch the summary. Some of them are like 5 minutes. Some of them are 30 minutes. And I watched one on Nuremberg, the new movie with Russell Crowe playing Goering, and the guy that played Freddie Mercury as the psychiatrist. Yeah, they're like the Cliff Notes of movies. And I like those a lot, those channels. I don't have time or the patience to sit and watch a bunch of movies. And I watched a recap of Nuremberg, and I think that's an anti-Trump movie. In Nuremberg, the psychiatrist, you know, Freddie Mercury, he's in the cell with Goering, Russell Crowe, and he said, "What is it about Hitler that attracted you and all the Germans?" And he says, "He made us feel good to be German again." You know, and I'm like, what? You know, that's like they're trying to portray Hitler as Goering and Hitler in that new movie. That's probably why they made the movie. That's how the liberals are, right? Yeah, they are desperate. Liberals are desperate. Liberals are very desperate. I mean, what else do they think, you know, come on. Come on. And the psychiatrist that Freddie Mercury there plays, he was a crazy person who had a tragic ending. It's not in the movie. Liberals are very low IQ. No doubt, I will agree with that. Liberals are very low IQ. If they were high IQ, they'd be MAGA. You know, nothing that the Democrats stand for is... the Democrat Party has always been a party of immorality and low information voters. Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Liberals are scientifically proven to be low IQ. Yeah, well... You know what Michael Savage says, liberalism's a mental disorder. I mean, look at Rosie O'Donnell. Men's a MAGA. That's right. That's right. We got a brilliant president, brilliant people around him. The cabinet is just filled with brilliant people, except for Pam Bondi. He has a perfect cabinet except for Pam Bondi, doesn't he? Absolutely. Have you all subscribed? Make sure you subscribe, okay? On the next stream, I'll be in the studio taking live calls. You won't want to miss it, I promise. Mm-hmm. Kash Patel's not in the cabinet. He's another incompetent, just like Bongino. Yep. And like that's just the way it is, you know. Patel has done nothing. They're doing good with the regular criminals. I mean, murders are down, things like that. But the lawfare and all of that, Letitia, Fannie, what about Fannie Willis? I mean, come on. All these things that have come out in Minnesota, everything else, they're, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are either incredibly incompetent or doing the work of the Republican establishment never Trumpers. Right? That's it. Comey, Jack Smith, Peter Strzok, all of them, Brennan. Just total incompetence. That's right. And it's pretty obvious. All right, we'll take the drive to Starbucks. Let me get my seatbelt on. All right, hold on, guys. Dark MAGA mode is engaged. No one in my neighborhood is leaving for work yet. Well, it's a little early. It's not quite 5 yet. It's only 4:45. I'm excited to start the new year. I mean, this is the year of Trump, the golden age of America, our 250th anniversary. Just a great time. Just a great time. If we could get a new attorney general, things would be better than perfect. And President Trump, he's just had bad luck with attorney generals. Everyone he's had has screwed him over. Everyone. She needs to go. Unless she makes some big arrest this week, which I can't imagine. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys, okay? Oh, yeah, there's more cars on the road today, so I guess people are kind of back. Monday will be the first real day back for the new year. But there's a lot more cars on the road today than yesterday. Yesterday was a ghost town. There were a couple people ahead of me when I was driving to Starbucks yesterday that looked like they were hammered. 46 degrees. Ugh, it sucks. Doesn't it suck when you have a holiday on a Thursday? It's so weird to have to go back to normal for one day, Friday, and then it's the weekend. Isn't it a little strange? It is. Homeless guy in front of Starbucks. You know, Starbucks, oops, dropped the phone. Starbucks lets homeless people move into their freaking locations. They've been cracking down on it, but they're still here. 44, yeah, it's 47. Just went to 47 where I'm at. 47 degrees. That's very cold for us here. Yeah, showing me behind. All these cameras on the cars, it's ridiculous. And Laura Loomer is getting married. I haven't seen any iguanas lying around. I'll see if there's any today. The iguanas are the dumbest creatures that you've ever encountered. And they're really pest here in Florida. Big time pest. Oh, Nick Shirley's amazing. I mean, Nick Shirley should receive the Pulitzer Prize for his reporting in Minnesota. No doubt about it. He does definitely. Don't you agree? Nick Shirley deserves the Nobel Peace, or not the Nobel, but the Pulitzer Prize. Look what he's done. And I like how the media are like, oh, this isn't even news. It's old news. Oh my goodness. Biggest financial scandal in history. And the media are trying to, oh, nothing to see here. It's old. They say it's old news as if that makes it okay. Right? Oh, that's old news. So we just got to let it out there. Give me a break. Oh, it's old news. Let him continue to commit fraud. What are they saying? Right? It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre what they're saying. But that's how liberals are, right? Exactly. Yeah, look for me on Newsmax this weekend, guys. Oh, man, I tell you. I'm glad it's Friday. I got a very busy Friday today, too. Very busy Friday. And the day's only just begun. I woke up today at 1:15. So I've been up a long time. But I still have a long day ahead of me. And plus, I'll have a podcast this afternoon, too. So, big day. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. On the next stream, I'll be taking live calls. And remember, today is Friday, so it's Open MAGA Mic Friday. That's what we call it. It's open phones on Friday. The show prep is up to you guys. You can call me about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. And that'll be in about 30 to 40 minutes. All right? And we'll be live taking your calls. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next stream in about 30 minutes or so. All right? Take care.